Hello and welcome to Apple Autos. Today we're taking a peek at a brand new 2023 Chevy Tahoe that we have available for sale at MSRP at Apple Chevrolet Northfield. Now the Tahoe and the Suburban are pretty much the two most popular three-row SUVs on the market right now. The Suburban is actually the longest lasting nameplate in automotive history. There's a fun fact for you. Now, I did want to do a quick walk around in this brand new Tahoe. They're still kind of hard to get, and it's not often that we have one come in that is available. And this one was an order that actually fell through. So let's go ahead and check out the spec on this Tahoe and see what it's all about. This Tahoe is covered in Empire Beige Metallic, which is a really cool color, especially against these 22-inch chrome wheels. It does look really good. Now, this is the premier model that we're looking at, so we do get this beautiful, very large chrome grille fitted to these updated headlights that you get on the newer generation of Tahoe. And I absolutely love the front end of these. They look really high end, really luxurious. I'm a big fan of how this chrome ties in with that beige color. And then not only that, but this has like the maple interior. I can't remember the exact name of it, but that interior matched with this paint and the chrome accents gives it a really, really sharp look. I'm a big fan of the way the new Tahoe looks. Let's move on to the side of it. Looking at the side of the Tahoe, we have a really good look at those upgraded 22-inch chrome wheels that are an additional, it looks like $1,500 option, which they look really good. They're really cool. Now, when we look at the side of the Tahoe versus the later years, the first thing that you're going to notice is the taillights. The taillights have a different design to them. They kind of wrap around the side of the car a bit more, which is a very easy way to distinguish a newer generation Tahoe over the previous. We also have sort of a different design at the back window and the C-pillar here, which is another pretty easy way to distinguish the differences there as well. Now, there's not a whole lot of upgrades on the outside other than just aesthetics between this and the previous generation Tahoe. However, when we move our way into the interior, there's a lot of things that I think make purchasing a new Tahoe versus the last generation well worth it, and we'll get into that as soon as we get there. But until we do that, let's go ahead and hop around back and see what's new. I am a huge fan of the way that the back of the new Tahoe looks, much more aggressive than the previous models, with the way that it kind of comes to a more of a point and it's not so rounded off. It kind of curves a little bit, and then just the way that the taillights designed, saying Chevrolet in there, the quad exhaust. The back of the new Tahoe is actually pretty menacing looking. I'm a huge fan of it. Let's open up this power lift gate here and see what we have for storage. Of course, the Tahoe is the smaller version of the Suburban, so we don't have a ton of trunk storage, but it's plenty if you're not using your third row seat super often. See, where the Tahoe is a huge advantage over the Suburban is if you don't need the third row seat super often, but it's still something that you want to have. Now, the Tahoe is great for doing like airport runs and stuff like that, going to pick up people because you have those seats when you need them. However, they're not super comfortable unlike the Suburban's third row. But what's super beneficial is with just two buttons here and here, we can press and it looks like they're stuck in the seat belts here. But these seats just simply fold forward with the push of a button, which gives us a ton of trunk storage. There is so much trunk storage in the back of the Tahoe, and then 4 incredibly comfortable seats because this one is fitted with captain's chairs in the second row. Something else that makes the Tahoe super convenient is you can actually press 2 buttons in front of the other 2 that fold these down, that fold this row right in front of that down. So you can fold the second row down from right here, which is unbelievably cool, which gives you an insane amount of storage all the way up front. There's so much storage in the back of the Tahoe, and you have all of the seats folded down. You can fit literally anything that you want back here. Let's go ahead and fold the seats back up, show you how easy that is, and then hop in there and see how it feels. Fold the seats up in the Tahoe. All you got to do is put your hand under it and pull. Simple as that, takes basically no effort at all. And then what is really convenient, and I think is very easy for kids, you pull this lever right here, and this actually adjusts the seat forward and back. Opposed to having a lever under the seat where kids can't reach it, they got a car seat or something like that, but they want to adjust a little bit, you can just grab that handle and easily move the seat forward and back and set it down to lock it in position. Makes it super easy. And then if you want to fold the seat down while you're standing here, pull this once, and then pull it twice, and you can actually flip the entire seat forward, which gives you even more floor space. Now that we have this seat up, all you have to do to fold the third row up is simply push, then fold that headrest up. You can do that for both sides. Easy as that. Takes absolutely zero effort once you're back here. Now let's sit in this third row and see what it's all about. I'm actually going to sit on the passenger side here, so it's simply fold this seat up and hop right on back into this seat here. Let's fold it back down just for good measure so I know how much legroom that I have. And then we'll make sure to move this back to where a passenger in front would be comfortable. With that in position there, this is where the Tahoe, like I mentioned, is a little bit more awkward than the Suburban. Because I have so much distance between the bottom of my legs and the seat, it does have a lot of like blood rushing to the butt area, which over time can get a bit uncomfortable. However, this is more comfortable than the previous generation Tahoes. We're not as close to the ground as we was before. And I could easily do, honestly, a few hour road trip in here and be just fine. It does get more comfortable as we move our way up, of course, but to throw some kids back here, or even 2 adults, 3 adults might be a bit tight, but you could do it. It would be just fine. Not only that, but we also have a cup holder, a little bit of storage back here, and to keep us charged up, a USB Type-C. Let's move into the second row and see how that is. Moving our way into the second row of the Tahoe, the seat quality goes up substantially. I now have a ton of cushion on the bottom area of my seat. The backs are very comfortable. I have an armrest for my inner arm, and it's really comfy in here. Not only that, but when the door shut, I have a secondary armrest on the door there. And then we also have climate control to control the entire back half of the Tahoe back here. We have a cool digital display to show that. We can keep ourselves charged up. Again, for a USB Type-C for each passenger except for the middle seat for the third row. And we also have an outlet as well. The quality of leather is very, very nice in here. It feels very good. I could sit in here for countless hours and be totally fine. Very comfortable spot to be. I like it quite a bit. Endless amounts of legroom. Can have probably 1.5 feet between me and my passenger. Yeah, the Tahoe's second row seats it's spot on. So like I brought up, if this is a vehicle that you are commonly using the first and second row in and just want a big trunk, this is the one to get, and then you use the third row when you need it. If you use the third row all the time, I would probably suggest getting the Suburban, because I'd assume if you're using the third row all the time, you're also going to want the bigger trunk because you're doing sports, hockey, stuff like that. You got the big trunk and the Suburban for all that type of stuff. The Tahoe's smaller trunk when that third row is up it makes it a little less practical when going on road trips and stuff like that. My family personally had a Tahoe growing up, and we tend to have a ski topper where we filled that whole ski topper full of luggage. And it was super convenient because it basically gave you the additional storage that you'd get in a Suburban just from the ski topper. However, it's less aerodynamic, and that also reflects on your gas mileage. Here's another thing that's really cool about the new Tahoe that I can't really show on camera when the camera is outside of the vehicle. As you can see, I have this whole center console much closer to me as a rear passenger. I can easily reach down and touch the climate control. I have a cup or a drink that I could grab from right here, just simply by putting my arm out. I don't have to reach forward for it at all. Very easy to grab. Now, if you also notice, there's now some additional storage up front here. There's quite a bit of storage that you could set things as a driver and a passenger, but you no longer have an armrest. So this entire thing actually moves power. So right up top here, there's this little switch that you would think is for the sunroof, but you just tap this button here and watch this. You tap this button and forward goes the entire center console. Super, super cool for adding, well, convenience for both the driver and passenger with some extra storage, and then passenger and passenger behind the driver and passenger for a place to set your drink and easily access the climate control. Really cool that the entire center console moves like that. While I was sitting back here, I did just want to show how much light is added when that panoramic sunroof is open on the interior. So much sun reflects off of this beautiful maple leather, and it makes it so bright and so nice in here. It is really, really nice. However, when you're not feeling the mood and you don't want that much sun coming into the interior, I will just simply tap this button right up front here and watch how dark it gets in here by just simply closing this panel. Takes away a lot of natural sunlight, but it is really cool that you have the option to have that open or closed. I personally think I would have it open all the time. Hopping into the driver's seat of the Tahoe, I forgot to mention this when we hopped in back, but we have a molded running board that runs along the whole side of it, which is pretty convenient. It doesn't look bad, it looks good, and it's quite functional because the Tahoe is a little bit off the ground. I also forgot to bring up, for the second row passengers, we do have heated seats. Now when we move our way up to the driver and passenger, we have heated and cooled seats, a heated steering wheel up here. We have the new digital dash, huge upgrade. Digital dashes are fantastic, show everything that you need to see. Everything's quick and easy to use. The new Tahoe also features something which is very slick, and it is being used across a variety of different Chevy products now, which is its Google infotainment system. It uses Google or Android as an operating system, and it is fantastic. You can download apps from the Google Play Store. You can use Google Maps, Google Assistant, Hey Google, and it'll respond to you, it'll help you, you tell it what to do. It is so nice that we have an Android system running this whole thing that just works flawlessly. It's much better than companies themselves that engineer their own systems, because we have a smartphone company that is now the operating system or the brains of this, that can be updated over the air, that can be constantly have apps added to it, constantly have apps updated. You know everything is going to be up to date. You know everything is going to work flawlessly. It's going to pair flawlessly and work connectively with your phone. So it's really nice that we have Google as an operating system inside of this, and it's a massive upgrade over any of the older Tahoes, and it makes it just that much better on a day-to-day basis. Now the comfort in the seats goes up yet again, moving to the driver's seat here. Very, very comfortable place to be. I like it quite a bit. This is the four-wheel drive model, so we can easily select our different drive modes down here, put it in auto, which is fantastic. Chevy's auto four-wheel drive system is very, very good. All the companies are very good, but Chevy, quite honestly, had the first one that was the best. We have all the safety systems that you could possibly ask for inside of here, and the new Tahoe's just overall interior layout makes it feel very, very spacious. They lowered the center console a little bit compared to the previous generation, so we have some more storage. They moved the phone charger from that center stack down to the middle here, the wireless phone charger, and it does work better than the previous generations, which I had a lot of issues with every time I use. But since they did move this down a little bit, we have a little bit less storage in our center console, but it's still plenty. Our overhead controls are very easy to access, very easy to see. We do have that button to control the amount the lift gate opens up top here, opposed to down on the door like we do in most Chevy models. This one does have the panoramic sunroof, which is huge. It goes all the way back to the second row. It ends, it does not go all the way to the third row, but it still looks fantastic and it works great. But yeah, I mean, the overall Tahoe in here, it's a really nice SUV, and it's probably the best third row SUV that's on the market right now, especially with the powertrain they put in these things. Rock solid, reliable, super easy to work on, and you're pretty dang fuel efficient too, and they can tow. So really, really, really good job Chevy did with the new Tahoe and Suburban here. Driving the Tahoe on the road, it has tons of power, tons of torque whenever you need it. It is a very powerful powertrain, and it's super comfortable going over bumps. Very convenient, just like pretty much every Chevy truck out right now. It rides great, easy to drive, and with its blind spot assist and safety features, it's a pretty easy vehicle to drive on a day-to-day basis. Not only that, but the really high-quality backup camera makes it easy to park as well, even though it is as big as it is. Now, if you guys are interested in this Tahoe, be sure to check out the link down in the description below.